Okay, now let's start with the introduction. So here we can see the arches. So what are maxillary teeth? Maxillary teeth are the teeth which are arranged in upper arch. Okay, and now what about mandibular teeth? Mandibular teeth are those which are arranged in lower arch, which is known as mandible. Note that mandible is mobile and maxilla is fixed. Here, this one here is maxillary arch, and here it's the mandibular arch. Okay, now let's discuss the role of midline in dentistry. So midline is an imaginary line which divides the body into two equal halves, right and left. Similarly, in arches, here we can see there is an arch. We can divide it by putting an imaginary line. This line or midline divides the arch into two equal halves. This one is right one and this is left 1 and 2. There are two equal halves which are known as quadrants, as there are two arches, maxillary and mandible. So in total there are 4 quadrants, 2 in maxilla and 2 in mandible. So there are 2 in maxilla which are maxillary right and maxillary left quadrant, and 2 in mandible which are mandibular right and mandibular left. Here we can see the midline dividing each arch into 4 quadrants. The one on right has 8 set of teeth, and on left also has 8 teeth, which means there are 16 teeth in maxillary arch and 16 teeth in mandibular arch. So there is total of 32 teeth in human. Now let's discuss what occlusion is. The occlusion is the manner in which mandible and maxillary teeth are in contact. And what is mastication? Is the process of biting and chewing. Like we are eating our food, it is known as mastication. In this picture we can see occlusion, where all the mandible and maxillary teeth are in contact. So when teeth are in contact, it is known as occlusion. Now let's classify the dentition. There are two types of dentitions, deciduous and permanent. And the phases of dentition consists of deciduous dentition, transition or mixed dentition phase, and permanent dentition phase. Dentition, it is also known as baby teeth or milk teeth. So it's start with the eruption of mandibular central incisor, as here we can see in this picture. These central incisors are erupted in oral cavity, and it starts at the age of 6 months, and this deciduous dentition phase or stage lasts up to 6 years of age, when permanent first molar erupts into the oral cavity. Okay, so there are 20 sets of deciduous teeth, which includes incisors, canines and molars. So deciduous, it means that deciduous dentition lacks premolars. So it has no premolars, and there are a set of 20 teeth, 10 in upper arch and 10 in lower arch. Here, this is a midline divided each arch into 4 quadrants. This here and this is right and this is left. Again here is left and this is right. So we can see there are incisors here. These two are incisors. This one is central and this is lateral incisors, and this one is canine. This is first molar and this is second molar. So there are no premolars over here. Same there. Okay, now look, there are 5 teeth in this quadrant and 5 in this, which makes the sum of 10 teeth in each arch. Here again there are 10 teeth, and there are total of 20 deciduous teeth in babies. Let's talk about mixed dentition. So mixed dentition is a phase in which both deciduous and permanent teeth coexist in oral cavity. It starts at the age of 6 when permanent mandibular first molar erupts in oral cavity, and it lasts up to 12 years of age. After 12 years of age, the oral cavity consists of permanent teeth. The whole dentition is permanent. Okay, now here in this image we can see these upper teeth are the permanent one and lower are the deciduous teeth. So the permanent teeth are causing the deciduous teeth to exfoliate and come into their place. So it's the mixed dentition phase. So they are permanent teeth. There are 32 permanent teeth in oral cavity. The first permanent teeth to erupt is first molar, and last one to erupt is the third molar. Here we can see the permanent dentition and the midline, which is dividing each arch into 4 quadrants. This is right and this is left one. So in each quadrant we can see there are 8 number of teeth. This, which is close to the midline here, is central incisor, and next to it is which is known as lateral incisor, and this third number is canine, and this is first premolar, this is second premolar, and there are 3 molars, first, second and third. The third one is also known as wisdom teeth. So there are 8 teeth in first quadrant and also the 8 in second. So there are total of 16 teeth in upper arch and 16 in lower arch, and this total sum of these two arches is 30. Now begin with the classification of teeth. Firstly, there are incisors. There are 2 incisors in each quadrant and 4 in one arch, and total of 8 in both arches. So what is the function of incisor? The function is biting and cutting. These two are central incisors and these are the lateral ones. So here is a midline. So there are 2 in one arch and 2 in the other arch, and which mean there are 4 in maxillary arch, and here also 4 in mandibular arch, and total number of incisor in both arches is 8. Okay, now let's talk about canine. Canine is the third teeth in the arch from the midline. It has the longest root and it is also known as a cuspid because it has only one cusp. So we can see that in each arch there are 2 canines, 2 in maxilla and 2 in mandible. So total number of canines in human mouth are 4. So now what is the function of canine? The function of canine is cutting and tearing. Now here we can see there are canine on the third number. As I already told you, there are 2 in maxilla and 2 in mandible and has longest root and only one cusp. Premolar, they are known as bicuspids because they have 2 cusps, one buccal and one is the lingual one. Okay, so in each quadrant there are 2 premolars, first premolar and second premolar. Here this is the upper arch. In upper arch there are 4 premolars. Also in lower arch there are 4 premolars, and so the total number of premolars is 8. Note that in deciduous arch there are no premolars, so there are 0 number of premolars in deciduous arch, which means in babies there are no premolars, only molars, and the function of premolars is grinding. 3 molars, first molar, second molar and third molar. The third molar is known as wisdom teeth, and mostly they are missing in most of people, but some people do have wisdom teeth. So we can see there are 3 molars in one quadrant, 3 in the other. So there are 6 molars in maxillary arch as well as 6 in lower arch, which makes up the sum of 12. So there are 12 molars in human mouth, and the function of the molar is grinding, as they are strongest teeth and has a large number of roots as compared to other tooth. Okay, so this is the midline, which is dividing each arch into 4 quadrants. This is first quadrant, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. These lower teeth are mandibular teeth and upper are maxillary. This is right and this is left. Okay, this teeth which is closest to midline is known as central incisor. Now the next two central incisors are lateral incisors, and the one with the longest teeth on number third is the canine, and these two over here, these are premolars, and they are absent in deciduous dentition, and these three are molars here. So there are 8 teeth in this quadrant, 8 in this, again 8 over here, and 8. So when we total the both quadrant teeth, there are 16 in upper and also 16 in lower, which makes the sum of 32 teeth.